Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown and 205 Live results for the week of August the 2nd, 2018. Happy birthday goes to Linda Miles. Her birthday is on August 28th. August 31st birthday, Jeff Hardy and Mickey James. Hardy was born in 1977. Mickey was born in 1979. Raw superstars Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley missed Monday's show in Toronto because they were working the SmackDown Live event in Bobby Roode's hometown of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Which Roode defeated Mojo in the opener of that show. And here are some of Roode's pre-show comments and Mojo's post-show comments at Bobby Roode. At Real Bobby Roode, a lot of firsts over my 20-year career. Tonight is another one, being able to perform in my hometown and in an air arena where I went with my parents to watch the matches when I was a kid. Looking forward to what will be a glorious evening. Hashtag. And at PTB Bo Mem Center at WWE. Comments from Dear at WWE Universe. I will not be at WWE. Hashtag Raw tonight. I decided instead to go kick the crap out of at Real Bobby Roode in his first ever match in his hometown in front of his family at Real Page WWE and hashtag SmackDown Live. Hashtag SD Live. We're thrilled to have me. Try to enjoy Raw without me. Sincerely, Mojo. Former WWE personality Jason Sensation, who was a regular on the Canadian indie scene for years, made a controversial tweet before tonight's WWE Raw in Toronto and claimed he would be committing suicide during the show at the event. Sensation wrote, I got my gun through security and I will shoot myself in the head and kill myself during tonight's Raw. Hashtag Raw in Toronto. Don't you dare miss it. Thanks for memories at WWE. It should be noted that Jason's Twitter account has since been deactivated. Toronto police were notified by several fans watching on social media and in the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Police were telling fans that they were well aware of the tweet and were investigating it and looking for a cessation in the arena. WWE also aware of the situation and investigating. Sensation was best known for playing Owen Hart in the infamous DX skits on the Nation of Domination. Vince Russo sent a text to Sensation reminding him that he has an army of people out here that cares for him. Wrestling Inc. sent a text to Russo, who confirmed that they heard back from Sensation. According to Russo, Sensation confirmed that the tweet was a joke. He is okay and he is sorry. WWE posted a video here from the Mae Young Classic competitors trying to draw WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold while blindfolded. See who won the drawing. Natalya tweeted the following on last night's Raw tribute to her father, WWE legend Jim the Anvil Neidhart. At Nat by Nature, tonight was definitely for my dad. Hashtag Anvil Strong, hashtag Raw. Chris Chaos at the Answer Chaos, dang it, at Nat by Nature points to the sky, saying that match was for her dad. Good way to make me break down. Who says there is no tears in wrestling? There were tonight. At Nat by Nature, right about now, I'd be texting my dad about my night and how it all went, especially after I wrestled. I know my dad was there watching me tonight on hashtag Raw. I did that drop kick just for him. I hope I made him proud. Raw superstars Mojo Rawley. I already did that one. I think I copied it twice. Maurice is scheduled to be at this week's SmackDown in Toronto as she is going to be a regular character going forward. There's been talk of doing Maurice versus Brie Bella in a singles match at October 28th, All Women's Evolution pay-per-view. Maurice will team with The Miz to face Brie and Daniel Bryan at Hell in a Cell. Also noted, this week's SmackDown will feature the first triple threat in a mini tournament to determine who will face SmackDown Tag Team Champions The New Day at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on September 16th. Triple threat will be Bar versus the Club versus the Colognes, who will be making their in-ring returns on SmackDown. Next week's SmackDown will feature the second and final triple threat, Usos versus Rusev Day versus Sanity. The September 11th episode should then feature the winners of each triple threat going at it to crown new No More contenders. James Long was recently hired to work behind the scenes for the WWE NXT brand. Long previously worked as a head coordinator, producer, and video editor for Impact Wrestling after a stint as an indie wrestler himself. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Long left Impact was seen as a huge blow to the company. He served as the lead producer for promos and vignettes and was called a genius who had the ability to bring to life everything they did. Long also worked on the Broken Hardy content with Jeremy Borash, who is also now working for NXT as well, who is also a producer. The Observer added that a lot of the recent backstage hires for NXT are expected to become members of Triple H's team when he finally takes control of running the main roster. James Long was recently hired to work the behind the scenes for the WWE NXT brand, as he previously worked as head coordinator, producer for, and video editor for Impact. Also noted, Kevin Owens quit on last night's Raw, has been added to the alumni roster on WWE's website. No word yet on where the storyline is headed, but speculation is that Owens is headed back to SmackDown. Because in January, he's going to be probably replacing Shinsuke Nakamura when his contract ends in January. Owens removed his name and his bio from Twitter, but left the two tweets he made on Monday. One of the photos from Braun Strowman, feud, and one of the photos from various title wins in his WWE careers. Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash have announced a NWO reunion tour. You can see a promo at this link. The tour kicks off on Saturday, October 27th, at Mango's Tropical Cafe in Orlando. Hogan's website is now taking bids for tickets. Digital tickets will be released soon. And here's an announcement on the tour itself. It took 22 years to put this together. And we are finally back. Brother, we got the whole band back together, and the original three are going to ride again. Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash are going to be right here in Orlando, Florida, at Mango's Tropical Cafe for the NWO reunion Q&A event at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on October 27th. So it doesn't state it's a wrestling event, so just stay tuned. The top 100 highest bidders will receive VIP tickets that include priority seating, a picture with the boys, and more. This may never, ever happen again, so make your bid. You won't want to miss it. Well, Ryan Satin from Pro Wrestling Sheet is reporting that Neville is no longer under contract with WWE. It is unclear when Neville's contract expired. It is also unclear if there is a no-compete clause is in effect. Usually when a WWE wrestler's contract expires, they have to wait 90 days before they can compete elsewhere. The reason this no-compete clause is important, at least in this case, is because it's now rumored, or perhaps wished upon by the Twitterverse, that Neville may possibly appear at All In on September 1st in Chicago. The rumor stems from Cody Rhodes and Matt Jackson tweeting about Neville earlier this week. Neville quit WWE in October of 2017 and has been silent ever since, having not appeared on any radio, podcast, or media. And Cody Rhodes says, "I miss Neville." Italo Santana, Bullet Club, Ital, hashtag on this day 3 years ago, hashtag SummerSlam, at WWE Neville, and at Stephen Amell, defeated at Stu Bennett and at Cody Rhodes. The Young Bucks tweeted at Mac Jackson 13, "Me too. I talked to him the other day. He's good." Does that mean he's headed to All In? In Ryan Satin's original scoop, it was not known if there was a no-compete clause for Neville. Dave Meltzer has weighed in on the news by not only confirming it by WWE, but also stating it on his website that Neville is free to wrestle everywhere. Now, in accumulation of the action-packed two-day tournament, Rhea Ripley became the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion at the NXT UK tapings at Insomnia, the UK's biggest gaming festival, at NEC Birmingham. Among the other NXT UK combatants battling to become the inaugural champion were Toni Storm, Jenny, Isla Dawn, Millie McKenzie, Nina Samuels, Dakota Kai, and Zia Brookside. The two-day NXT UK event was taped as part of the upcoming NXT UK series, which will feature the greatest competitors from the United Kingdom and Ireland. First announced by General Manager Johnny Saint and Triple H. WWE recently filed to register trademarks on the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Kerry Sane, and Corey Graves. Well, Corey Graves is doing your announcing, so why would he need a copyright? Unless he's going to be wrestling on the main roster. Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, and The Miz trained at Santino Marella's Battle Arts Academy in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada on Monday before Raw. And here are a few photos and the video as well. As I watch the video, it doesn't look like Drew McIntyre lifted very much. But you can see that. You know, he did it one time anyways. Santino said it was some kind of record. I don't know. It might also at Mike Miz, while in Toronto, a study of the arts, Battle Arts, at Battle Arts Academy, BAA. Thanks. At the Milan Miracle, with this training, I will beat Daniel Bryan again and then go on to beat AJ to win the WWE title for the second time. Dark match before SmackDown in Toronto saw R-Truth and Ty Dillinger defeat Sanity in tag team action. What? Yeah. I say so also. Before I give you the actual results for SmackDown, let's see, I should have another. Xavier Woods now has a commercial on Twitter with Carl Jr. advertising about their upcoming new mini donuts. They are Fruit Loop style, colored minted mini donuts. By the way, my buddy Robert works for Carl Jr. and he knows they are coming out, but doesn't know the pricing as of yet. But as soon as I know, as soon as he knows, he'll let me know and I'll let you know. But in the ad, the price was not in the ad. All it showed was over and over and over. As Xavier was biting a piece of the donut with the powder on his face. Eve Torres Gracie has delivered their second baby boy, unknown weight, as she announced on the Instagram account. She just said the baby was healthy. I've seen the pic, but he's real tiny. I'd say maybe 5-6 pounds, if that. Real tiny. Well, SmackDown opens up from the Scotia Bank in Toronto, Canada. It's in Ontario. With Tom Phillips welcoming us to the show. Chimed in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxon. We go right to the ring. Out comes new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, New Day, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier. We see how they became the 5-time champions last week, as fans chant for pancakes. New Day hits the ring for the championship celebration. They have a Stanley Cup full of pancakes. They give the props to the Bludgeon Brothers. Big E goes on about how they are now five-time. Music interrupts, and out comes WWE Hall of Famer Booker T to a pop. Booker comes out with his King Booker gimmick. Fan chant for Booker, who enters the ring with a royal decree. Cape and all. Cape and crown. Booker gives the regal names to Woods and Kofi. Big E already has one. Big E. I think Kofi's was Sir. And I forgot what the name was actually given. Big E says Booker just went full Saxton. Booker goes on and welcomes the New Day to the Five Timers Championship Club. Now can you dig that, sucker? Booker's original music hits and he turns to leave. But the New Day stops him and wants him to do a spin-a-rooney. Booker then gets the crowd hyped up and nails it for a pop. Woods and Kobe hit a spin-a-rooney. Also, Booker applauds them. Big E tries to do one, but just can't get off his back. He didn't even spin. He just laid on his back. He did like a hump thing. What did he do? Think he was doing the Humpty dance? But until Kobe and Woods helped him up. He acted like he couldn't even get up off the mat. Booker just looked at it weird and just went on about his business and posed with a New Day to end the segment. We see a custom announce table for the New Day is being set up at ringside next to the regular announce team. Still to come, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella will be here. WWE Champion AJ Styles will also be here, plus Carmella gets her title rematch. Number 1 contenders tournament triple threat. The Bar versus the Colognes versus the Club. Now they'll just be calling them the Boys. We go to the ring. Out first comes the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. Then we go back to commercial. Back for the ring, we see Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in the ring with the Bar. Colognes, Primo, and Epico are wrapping up their return entrance. New Day's on commentary. Sheamus starts off with Anderson, and they trade holds. Sheamus looks to take control, but Anderson drops him and now hits a low drop kick for a 2 count. Cesaro tags in for a quick double team. Cesaro rocked Anderson, but Anderson drop kicks him for a close 2 count. Gallows tagged in, took over on Cesaro, beating him down in the corner. Gallows hits a superplex and covers for a pin attempt. Anderson tagged back in for another quick double team. Cesaro counters, put Primo tags himself back in. Anderson takes Primo right to the mat and keeps him grounded by his arm. Epico ends up tagging in for a double team on Anderson. Epico gets a 2 count. Anderson turns around but misses a flying elbow in the corner. Anderson nails an enziguri, then goes up top to the second rope. But Primo distracted him, allowing Epico to send Anderson out to the floor. Primo then tagged in and floored Anderson on the outside. Back to commercial. Back from the ring, the Bar is double teaming Anderson. Cesaro with a big flying elbow, but Sheamus holds Anderson. Cesaro with a 2 count. Sheamus works over Anderson and applies a backbreaker submission. Anderson counters and brings Sheamus to the mat. Gallows rallies for a tag. Gallows tags in with Cesaro. Gallows unloads and hits a big running splash in the corner. Gallows drops Epico with a big boot as he charges. Gallows with a big pump handle slam on Cesaro. And another splash on the mat. Cesaro kicks out at 2. Primo ends up tagging in, coming off the top for a close 2 count. Sheamus runs in, but Gallows and Anderson clean house. They go for a magic killer on Primo, but Epico breaks it up with a backstabber to Anderson. Sheamus comes in, but gets hit with a double backstabber by the Colognes. Cesaro tags in and takes out Gallows, while Sheamus stops the Colognes on the outside. Cesaro covers for the win. After the match, Bar goes to the ringside and has words with the New Day, throwing their pancakes right back at him. SmackDown General Manager Paige is backstage watching. Rusev Day is backstage, all three of them. Rusev, Aiden English, and Lana come walking in. Paige announces the second triple threat for next week's SmackDown. Rusev Day versus Usos versus Sanity. The winners will face the bar to determine the number one contenders. Rusev praises Lana for getting them the shot at the title, but she says it wasn't her, it was English. Rusev and English are back on the same page now. We get a video looking at Becky Lynch's recent turn on Charlotte Flair. Still to come segment, Carmella versus Flair with the title on the line. We see Jeff Hardy backstage working on his paint. Tom says Jeff has a challenge for Randy Orton tonight. Back to commercial. Back to the ring, and out comes Jeff Hardy to a pop. Hardy says Randy Orton has had an obsession over him lately. Jeff admits Orton has gotten inside his mind and messed him up. Orton even made him think that he could fly, which is why he did this, and we see the video from last week's brawl and then the big swanton bomb in the crowd. Hardy says he's not some stepping stone in Orton's career. Jeff felt reborn and like the Jeff Hardy of old. Last week, Jeff says this is just the beginning. He calls Orton to the ring to finish what Orton started. Music hit, out comes Orton with a mic. Orton mocks Jeff and says he's not finished working on Jeff yet. Orton says this version of Jeff that people adore is what he's going to take away. The career he's going to end. Orton says to do this, he must leave Hardy in the ring with broken bones. Orton says Hardy didn't really think he would get in the ring on Jeff's terms tonight. Orton knocks Canadians in the crowd and calls them dumb. Orton goes on and says and tries to warn Hardy with a RKO threat, but Hardy interrupts. Hardy says Orton is just going to hell, and he's taking him there. Jeff announces their match will be inside the Hell in a Cell. At the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Jeff gets a delete chant going as Orton drops the mic and backs up the ramp. Hardy's music hits. Delete, delete, delete the segment. Renee Young backstage with Carmella, asking if she's afraid of the buzz leaving her and going to Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. Carmella isn't worried and points out how Flair never pinned her at SummerSlam. Carmella says she's defeated Flair twice and will complete the trifecta tonight. She goes on and says Becky and Charlotte are chump change, but Mella is money. She walks off, and then comes R-Truth, still looking for Carmella for a match. Tyler Dillinger walks in and tries to stop him. Truth says when the time is right, the Truth will set Carmella free. Still to come segment, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella have a message for the Miz and Maurice. But next we get Naomi versus Billie Kay. We go to the ring, out comes Naomi. Back to commercial. Back for the ring, out comes the Iconics. Billie Kay with Peyton Royce. They take shots at Naomi and the Toronto Raptors NBA team. This leads to the Let's Go Raptors chant. The bell rings and Naomi unloads, getting an early count. Billie turns it around off a counter and mounts Naomi with strikes for a 2 count. This was a boring match because every time that she did moves, it was so slow. I could even do it. Billie talks some more trash and Naomi rocks her. Naomi with more offense to make the comeback now. Naomi catches Billie with a kick to the face. Peyton gets on the apron and the interference almost backfires. Peyton then gets involved again and kicks Naomi from the floor. Billie takes advantage and rolls Naomi up. The schoolgirl roll up for the win. After the match, Iconics head to the stage to celebrate as Naomi looks on. Still to come, AJ Styles will be here with a message for Samoa Joe. We see Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella backstage watching a video of last week's segment with the Miz and Maurice. Back to commercial. Back for the ring, out first comes Brie Bella. Daniel was out next. They do the Borgasm Yes chants on the way to the ring. Bryan talks about what happened last week and also takes shots at the Miz, calling him a coward, a bad actor. Brie says she came down last week to get her hands on Maurice, but it felt good to hit Miz. They talk about the mixed tag match at the Hell in a Cell and says Miz and Maurice won't be able to hide. Music interrupts. Out comes Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega. Brie and Daniel look on as Almas and Vega enter the ring. Vega says it's an honor to be standing next to two legends, Brie and Almas. Vega asks Bryan to forgive her, and she formally introduces them to Bryan and Brie. Vega brags on Almas' accomplishment since coming to SmackDown, putting Sakara on the shelf, taking AJ Styles to the limit, and destroying Rusev. Vega says Miz has already outsmarted Bryan, and now it's time for Almas to out-wrestle him. Almas speaks some in Spanish and English, but fans give him the what treatment? Stone Cold style. Bryan says he would love to make that match official, but unfortunately he's no longer the general manager. If only there was someone in the back who would come out and make the match. Bryan looks at the back, but no one is coming. Bryan says that was kind of embarrassing. Music finally hits it out. Finally comes Paige. Paige acts like she was running across the arena in high heels. She asks the fans if they want to see Bryan versus Almas, and they do. Paige calls for a referee and makes the match official. And the fans cheer. Her music hits, and she heads back to the back. Then we go to commercial. So we got Bryan versus Andrade. As they go back to a commercial and the bell rings, fans chant for Bryan as they lock up. Brie and Zelina watch from ringside. Almas and Bryan trade holds and counter on the mat. They stare each other down as fans clap. More back and forth. Almas does a signature pose on the ropes, but Bryan drop kicks him out to the floor. He lays upon in between the second rope and the top rope, just doing this for his pose. Well, as Bryan did the drop kick to the floor, Almas quickly took back control as we see the Miz and Maurice backstage watching on monitors. Almas drops Bryan in the corner and covers for a quick pin attempt as Vega barks orders. Almas counters the move and puts Bryan in submission. Bryan slides out and nails him for a 1 count. Almas rocks Bryan with a big chop. Almas with chops in the corner now. Bryan turns around in the corner with chops of his own. Almas wants more, and Bryan gives him. Bryan with a yes kicks in the corner. Bryan with a running corner drop kick. Almas charges with a running knee in the corner. Almas goes for another running knee, but Bryan sidesteps and Almas lands bad. Flying out of the ring to the floor, Vega cheers on Almas to get back to his feet as the referee counts. Bryan runs the apron and nails a flying knee on the floor. Bryan does a yes chance again with the crowd. Bryan brings it back in the ring and goes up top. Almas moves and Bryan lands on his feet. Almas drops Bryan with a big elbow for a 2 count. We see the Miz and Maurice watching again from backstage. They walk away, possibly headed to the ring. We go to commercial. Back for the break. Bryan comes out of a submission, but Almas covers for a 2 count. Almas goes to the top. Bryan jumps up and kicks him. Bryan climbs up and nails a super double underhook suplex from the top. The music hits. Out comes the Miz to interrupt. Miz creeps down the ramp as Bryan waits. Almas comes from behind and decks Bryan. Bryan runs the ropes and nails a big dive on Miz, who's almost at the ringside. Bryan unloads, but this allows Almas to leap out and take him down. Almas brings Bryan back in for the inverted DDT from the corner for a close 2 count. Fan chant, this is awesome now. Almas goes up top for a moonsault, but Bryan gets his knees up. Bryan applies the yes lock in the middle of the ring. Vega gets on the apron for a distraction, but Brie pulls her down and drops her on the outside. Referee is busy looking at Brie and Vega, not Almas into submission. Maurice comes out of nowhere and nails Brie, then sends her face first into the ring post. Miz takes advantage of the chaos and comes in the ring, decking Bryan with a cheap shot for the disqualification. After the bell, Almas hits the double underhook DDT on Bryan in the middle of the ring. While Miz watches, Miz then applies a yes lock on Bryan while Vega hits a running double knees on Brie in the corner. So he's doing the move thief off the video game. Almas and Vega leave the ring. Maurice drops Brie on her head while Miz forces Bryan to watch. Bryan crawls for Brie, but Miz picks him up and hits the skull-crushing finale. The It couple stands tall over Bryan and Brie, kissing to a mixed reaction. Wasn't very much, more like a stage kiss, because I have seen Maurice's dating profile on one of the dating sites. Renee's backstage outside of Charlotte Flair's locker room for comments. Flair comes out and says Becky Lynch says she deserves the title, but you don't deserve anything, you don't win. Flair goes on and says Becky wants to blame her because she can't win the big one. Flair won't apologize for busting her butt every day, and she won't roll over for anyone who tries to take that away from her. even if she was her best friend. Flair says Becky wants the spotlight, and after she runs through Carmella tonight, Flair is going to give the spotlight to Becky. We go to the ring. Out comes WWE Champion AJ Styles. Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Styles is in the ring. We see a video of Samoa Joe attacking AJ and yelling at AJ's wife, Wendy, on last week's show. Fan chant for AJ before he speaks. AJ says their match is now official for Hell in a Cell, and the title will be on the line. AJ says Joe is good with his mind games because he has AJ right where he wants him. AJ goes on about how Joe isn't the real man. AJ says he's going to put a stop to these games right now. Right here, right now. AJ says he's the WWE champion and he makes the rules on SmackDown. AJ doesn't have to wait until Hell in a Cell. AJ calls for Joe to come to the ring and says this isn't a threat. It's a demand by the WWE champion. AJ says he's going to knock Joe's teeth down his throat. AJ drops the mics and waits for a fight. Joe appears on the big screen, taunting AJ from the back. Joe says he's not coming out, while AJ is out there proving his point. Joe talks more about AJ's family and says maybe he's not done playing daddy just yet because this is too much fun. Joe pulls out his cell phone and supposedly calls AJ's wife, Wendy. You don't hear her on the phone, so I don't think he's talking to anybody. Joe continues with the game and says maybe he will stop by next Tuesday. As the food cuts out, as Joe smiles, AJ is fuming now. He leaves the ring and runs to the back. He announces hype Joe versus Styles and Orton versus Hardy at Hell in a Cell. SmackDown Women's title match, Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Out comes Carmella for her title shot. Rematch. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see an angry Styles backstage looking for Joe. We return to the ring, and Carmella waits as SmackDown Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair makes her way out. Hamilton does the ring introductions. Bell rings, and they tie each other up. They lock up. Flair slams Carmella first. They go at it as fans chant, "We want Becky" at them. Carmella takes control and yells back at the fans. Carmella stops to come back, attempt, and takes Flair to the mat. Keeping her down, Carmella takes Flair to the corner next. Face first in the turnbuckle. Carmella keeps control, but the Becky chant starts up from the crowd. Flair then rolls Carmella up for a 2 count. Flair tosses Carmella across the ring. Flair steps on Carmella and goes to the top for a moonsault. Carmella then jumps to her feet and shoves Flair from the top to the floor. Flair hits the barrier as the referee starts counting. Carmella runs the ropes and nails a big suicide dive onto Flair on the floor. Carmella brings him back to the ring for a close 2 count. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Carmella has Flair grounded in the middle of the ring. Flair counters and hits a belly back suplex. Flair with chops. Carmella ducks and takes Flair back down. Carmella with a drop kick. Carmella with more offense. She goes to the top for a crossbody, but Flair rolls through for a 2 count. Carmella tangles with Flair and drops her with a flat ladder. Flair kicks out at 2. Carmella with more offense. Carmella takes it back up top. Hits a big Hurricane Rana for a close 2 count. Carmella shows some frustration. Flair looks to go for the figure 4, but Carmella super kicks her. The frustrated Carmella goes for several close pin attempts. Flair finally hits the spear and then the natural selection. Then Flair applies a figure 4 and brings it into the figure 8 in the middle of the ring, and Carmella taps out. After the match, Flair stands tall with her title as the music hits. Becky Lynch hits the ring from out of nowhere and attacks Flair from behind. Becky unloads on Flair and destroys her as fans go wild, chanting her name. Fans chant, "Let's go, Becky." Becky demands a mic. She raises the title and kneels down in Flair's face. Becky says she gets her way. Come Hell in a Cell. She's getting her title back. Becky calls Flair the B word, and drops the mic. Becky raises the title again and looks out at the crowd as fans cheer her on. A big Becky chant breaks out from the crowd as she exits the ring. Flair is laid out in the middle of the ring with the title laying beside her. We go to replays of Carmella versus Flair and the attack from Becky as Flair sits up in the ring in the corner with the title, but the fans are booing her. The SmackDown goes off the air. Another women's main event. 205 Live, General Manager Drake Maverick recap last week's main event between the Lucha House Party and Nice Murphy. Tonight, Murphy will face Kalisto in the main event. The Brian Kendrick with Gallagher versus Akira Tozawa. Before the match, Kendrick and Gallagher talk about attacking Tozawa. Kendrick says he could have just left things alone, but no, he had to look for retribution. Instead, Ali is going to find his pain. Got zero reaction from that promo. Bell rings and Kendrick immediately heads out to the floor to hide behind Gallagher. He paints a punch. Gallagher ducks, and then he pops Kendrick. Gallagher stands back up and then gets dropped too. Kendrick gets tossed back into the ring and Tozawa stomps away at him. Comments from Total Diva Seps. Nowhere to run from at Tozawa Akira. Kendrick is able to get control of the match again. Kick to the stomach, kick to the head. Clubbing blows to Tozawa's head. Tozawa then fights back. Shining Wizard hits. He heads up top to the top rope. Kendrick rolls to the outside, but Tozawa nails a suicide dive. Kendrick gets tossed back in. Gallagher gets too close and is kicked away. Tozawa slams Kendrick's leg into the ring post multiple times. Snap suplex in the middle ring. More kicks to Kendrick's leg. Missile drop kick, dragon shrew. Leg whip, spinning kick. And he hits the senton splash for the 3 count. Winner of the match, Akira Tozawa. 3 weeks ago, Tony Nese picked up a win over Kalisto. Last week, Buddy Murphy shoved Kalisto while he was at ringside to support Graham Metallic. Kalisto would trip up Murphy and allow Metallic to get a win. Backstage, Kayla Braxton talks with Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese about their long-standing rivalry with Lucha House Party. Murphy says he came to 205 Live to win the championship title. But they plan on finishing him off the group because they aren't playing around anymore. Backstage segment. Hideo Itami says from the bottom of his heart he feels bad for hurting Mustafa Ali, then laughs a bunch. Itami says he feels bad he didn't hurt Ali even worse. Hideo Itami versus Michael Blaze. Itami with a kick to the face right off the bat. Multiple kicks to the corner as Blaze tries to fight back, but just gets kicked a whole bunch more. Respect me, yells Itami. Blaze gets a few strikes in, but ends up getting hit with Falcon Arrow cover. Itami picks his opponent up, though, hits the finisher, covers, lifts his opponent up once more. Itami then ducks Blaze in the corner and hits a few more running drop kicks. It goes for a last kick, but Ali's music hits, and Ali heads towards the ring. Itami runs away as Ali yells at him, "You want some respect? Fight me." Winner of the match, the jobber, Blaze. By count out. No contest. Technically a count out. That comment from Total Diva Seps. The heart still beats. Welcome back at Mustafa Ali, WWE. Last week, before Tozawa could get his match going, Drew Gallagher and Kendrick attacked. Gallagher was still heated and wanted another title opportunity against Cedric Alexander. Alexander would head out to the ring, but Drake Maverick and a bunch of referees initially kept Alexander back. Alexander finally broke though, and Gulak bounced. Backstage segment. Alexander said Gulak sunk to a whole new low by beating up 2 guys to call him out. Then when he came out, Gulak run away. He calls Gulak a spineless hypocrite and says next week he's going to call out Gulak and finish what they started. Next we got Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto. Murphy using his strength as he tossed Kalisto around a bit. Kalisto, for whatever reason, does a test of strength with Murphy. He's on the losing end as Murphy keeps stripping him down for multiple covers. They end up getting him back on their feet as each hop their way up the ropes before Kalisto hits her Hurricanrana. Murphy back out to the floor. Kalisto with a flip over the top rope and takes out both Nese and Murphy. The Total Diva Seps says, "Yo!" at Kalisto WWE. Back inside the ring, Kalisto tries for another Hurricanrana. Murphy stops at it first, but he then gets tossed out to the floor. Kalisto with a soccer kick for the apron. Looks for a DDT, but Murphy catches him in midair and hits a suplex on the floor. Lucha House Party getting a little too rowdy on the outside after getting shoved first, and then it ended up getting tossed from the ringside. Nese is still at ringside, though. Murphy with a big kick to the back, smiling and admiring his work. At Total Diva Seps comments, incredible strength and control displayed by WWE_Murphy. Murphy tries for another kick, miss. Kalisto tries for a sleeper hold. reverse, knees to Kalissa's face, covers for a 2 count. Kalissa is able to dump Murphy out to the floor and look to fly, but knees tripped him up. Referee caught him, though, as his knees packing. He's ejected. Now it's just one-on-one. Kalissa gets sent up to the second rope, almost gets caught in midair, but is able to hit a reverse hurricanrana. A cover, only gets a 2 count. Crowd doing the this is awesome chant. To leave a steps at WWE_Murphy launches Kalisso. Solito del Cell, no, Kalisso sent into the second turnbuckle. Big kick to Murphy's face, cover, close 2 count. Kalisso ends up on the apron, Murphy sends him flying all the way back into the table. Murphy tosses Kalisso into the barricade a couple of times, Murphy with another big knee. Referee gets his count to 8, but Kalisso taunts Murphy to come down to the floor and then flips him up and over the barricade. Referee restarts his count and gets a 9 before Murphy gets up to the ring. Kalisso nails a hurricanrana that plants Murphy's head into the mat. Covers for a 2 count. Kalisso tries to springboard in. Murphy catches him and hits 2 power bombs. Covers for 1, 2. No, kick out. Kalisso reverses, roll up, 2 count, rolling kick on Murphy. But Murphy gets up and hits the nasty running knee. Murphy's Law for the 1, 2, 3. Comments from Total Need of Steps at WWE_Murphy's Law. The Juggernaut keeps running through the competition. Dark main event that ended at 205 Live. The dark main event after this week's 205 Live in Toronto saw Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles defeat Samoa Joe and Randy Orton. Styles pinned Joe with a phenomenal forearm to send the crowd home happy. And I'm going to do one impersonation. The Mega Powers. I'm going to do Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. Ooh, yeah, brother. Let's reform the Mega Powers. Ooh, dig it. Brother, let's do it again. Ooh. That concludes my results for 205 Live and SmackDown. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on Olympia. You don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.